Hello students. Today what I would like to do is I would like to show you how we're going to be glazing our little plates that we have made as an exercise at the beginning of the trimester. Your plates have a little groove to separate the colors of glaze. What we're going to be doing first is we're going to be putting a black underglaze in the lines. This black underglaze is going to prevent the glazes from mixing. What we're going to be using is a little squeeze bottle. I keep a pin or other sort of a plug. In some cases, if it's a big tip, I might keep a paper clip in it, but I keep some sort of a plug in the tip to keep the underglaze from drying up in there and clogging it. Now, the underglazes are located on my desk. I have a little bin of them and they're already filled in these bottles. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this along in the grooves, and I'm going to fill all the grooves. Now that I have all of the grooves with the black in it, I'm going to go ahead and put my pin back in the bottle. And then once it has dried, I still have a few wet spots right there, so I'll be careful of that. What you're going to do is you're going to take a sponge, a clean damp sponge, and you're going to sponge off any of the excess. So if you happen to get a little outside the lines, you're going to just tidy it up and it will look much cleaner. Rinse out your sponge if it gets dirty. Now that I have sponged off my excess black, I'm ready to get my glaze ready to use. The glaze that I'm going to be using, of course, is a stoneware glaze. Remember that the glazes that we have are cones 5 or cone 6. This is a coyote glaze. When I open it up, I want to stir it first. I want to make sure that it actually is a nice even consistency. If there's things up on the wall, I want to mix that up and stir it in. The method of application that I'm going to be using is the bulb syringe. I like to use this so I can get some nice detail painting. The bulb syringe has a little tip that is very similar to a tip that you would use maybe to inflate like a basketball or something. It just doesn't have the hole on the side. The tip just kind of wiggles in and it stays in by friction. Now, the bulb syringe works if that had a little water in it. If you squeeze the bulb, insert it down into the glaze, and then I kind of wipe that off, and then if I turn it over and kind of shake the glaze down in there, I can feel that the glaze just went to the bottom. I'm going to squeeze out a little bit more air, and I'm going to fill it that way. You can try it 2 or 3 times until it feels full. It feels full now. I'm going to go ahead and put the tip in, and I'm going to go wipe this off. I have now wiped off the bulb syringe and I'm ready to apply. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the tip of it right on the plate and I'm going to gently squeeze. Now I would consider this a little bit like drawing. I'm going to start a little bit to the inside of the edge, and as I squeeze I go right up to the edge. I want to try to be careful not to overdo it. I don't want to get glaze in those grooves. Now you want to be squeezing the whole time you do this because you want to have a nice even coat. If you're not squeezing sometime, you're going to end up with thin spots. You want your glaze coverage to be nice and even throughout this. If you have a very large area that you feel it might take you too long, you could always brush it on, but if you brush, you have to brush on 3 coats. The advantage of using the bulb syringe is it only takes 1 coat. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, Now, I have finished here with my yellow. You can see that I do have a little mistake right there where I accidentally got it on a dot in the black line. Not a problem. What I would do is I would allow that to dry thoroughly, and then I would come in there with a needle tool. It's still a little wet, so I can't do it quite just yet. But now I want to go ahead and talk about how to clean out the bulb syringe. You obviously need to clean the bulb syringe out between your colors. So you're going to squeeze all the excess glaze back into the container. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to take this over to the sink and I'm going to wash it thoroughly in the sink. Washing out a dirty bulb syringe is not difficult if you do it right. First of all, I am going to use a container to catch water. I'm going to do a quick rinse, and I'm going to put the bulb syringe down into the water, and I'm going to squeeze it out many times. Now, after squeezing it out several times, I'm going to fill it again with water, clean water. And you can see when I just rinsed that, it looks much better. I'm going to do it one more time. This time I'm going to fill it with water. I'm going to run it completely through the tip. And then the test to see whether or not there's any glaze in it is I will squirt a little bit of that water on there. If you can see any glaze residue in that, you know it's not clean enough. This is clean. I need to check all of your bulb syringes when you are done using them before we put them back. If they are not properly cleaned, it will clog and ruin that tip.